Theodore Roosevelt once said that comparison is the thief of joy. So, do you think that you compare yourself with everybody else who you think may be achieving greater things than you? Do you look at other people in perhaps a slightly arrogant way and thinking, well, I'm doing better than them? Well, do you think that's a healthy way to live? Welcome aboard. Now you're probably wondering why I'm sitting here with my guitar and what's that got to do with comparison and what's that got to do with mindset and confidence. I was just playing this beautiful song, learning to play this beautiful song called The Streets of London, which is all about people who are far less fortunate than me, and I was comparing myself actually in what I think was a very healthy way with thinking about the gratitude and the fortune that I have in my life. Now, in contrast, I'm thinking about how I've compared myself negatively to other people. Music is one of them. My father is a professional musician. He is an organ scholar from Cambridge, was a teacher, an examiner, and a composer. My stepmom, very high-level cellist, still teaches at one of the principal colleges in London at nearly 80 years old. My brother is very accomplished in the jazz world. He's a bass player, very top-level bass player. My stepbrothers and sisters have all played musical instruments to a high level as well. So I've always compared myself to them as being, well, really falling by the wayside because I never had the focus and the concentration levels to go beyond about 15 playing instruments. But that was until I was 25 when I bought this guitar, when I started flying in my spare time as a bit of a mindfulness thing, and a goal that I wanted to achieve alongside flying was to play a few tunes on my guitar. But actually, 26 years later, I've only just started playing in front of other people because I've had this negative mindset, this lack of confidence that I would never step up to my family and what was the point kind of thing. But a friend of mine recently asked me to play in an old people's home, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I realized how ridiculously silly I was to compare myself to anybody else. I think it's worth asking ourselves, when we walk out of that door to our house first thing in the morning, are we going out with that negative comparison mindset where we're looking at other people's Range Rovers, other people's houses, other people's lawns, other people's clothes, their hair, their bums, their boobs, you name it. We can compare ourselves to anything, and we can also look down at other people in a sort of defensive, egotistical, arrogant way, thinking, well, I've done better than them. So, I mean, what a miserable way to live life, generally speaking. It's also incredibly unattractive, and it's also not a responsible way to live life. I'm really learning to understand that in my 50s now. So going out with my guitar, trying to bring people together is such a big value system of mine. And if I can play the guitar and sing and just get anybody involved, it doesn't matter how good I am, certainly not compared to the rest of my family. I think it's actually the responsible thing to do. Question is, how are you doing? Are you comparing yourself positively or negatively towards other people? Are you actually aware of when you're doing it? Because I think that's part of the problem. I'm about to play my guitar and sing the song for you, stepping outside of my comfort zone a little bit, just to perhaps encourage you to do the same. And I think comparison can be the thief of joy if we do it in the negative way. Here we go. Have you seen the old man outside the closed down market, picking up his papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you'll see no pride, and held closely by his side, yesterday's papers telling yesterday's news. And how can you tell me you're lonely, and tell me for you the sun don't shine? take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. Then I'll show you something that will make you change your mind. Keep it in the greens.